brand new high school student has a very important choice to make. That choice is, will I blend in or should I stand out? Well, in my case, that choice has been taken out of my hands before I joined high school. Imagine a 6'2" individual trying to blend in when everyone around me was 4 to 5 feet tall, including most teachers, whilst my height gave me prominence and, of course, I was very noticeable. And I can't deny the fact that I had an unfair advantage on the basketball field. It did nothing for me in class. The academic playing field was level, and that is where I made a conscious decision and choice to work really hard in order to stand out. So stand out, I did. And after high school and after university, I committed myself to, of course, a career like everyone should. And in my case, it is finance and investments. And of course, we all have a creative streak, I hope. And in my case, I also took up canvas, paint brushes, a whole variety of paint, palettes, and my weekend was dedicated to painting as well. So you must be wondering, why am I talking about my competitive nature in school, or finance, or painting, and how does that connect with rediscovering humanity? Well, I'm going to tell you. I have been invited several times by friends and professional colleagues to Rotary, and every time I had declined the invitation. And because I didn't know much about the organization, it sounded daunting to me because I already had a very busy and full calendar. So where exactly would I fit Rotary in my calendar? And of course, what I forgot to mention is when I take on a responsibility and when I commit to a goal, I give it my 200%. So that made the problem even worse. Why would I want to commit to an organization where I'm not going to give my all? One thing I had committed to was a monthly visit to Karura Forest for art in the park. And that's where individuals go to the park. There are easels and canvases laid out, palettes of colors, and all sorts of brushes with different sizes. And we had prominent painters who used to come and assist us in painting the afternoon away. Such bliss. And at that point in time, on one of those occasions, one of my friends, Kalpa, was telling me all about the amazing work Rotary is doing, the humanitarian work Rotary does on an ongoing basis. And for some reason, she might have tapped into the idea that I'm not sold on it. So she was telling me that individuals from all varieties of professions who are really busy are the ones who are actually invited. Aha. So, of course, my first immediate reaction was, I have been invited by so many individuals to Rotary, and I really don't see myself fitting into it. How would you know you're not going to fit into it? At the very least, you have to come as my guest to one meeting, feel it for yourself, thereafter see where it goes. And to all the Rotarians in the house, isn't that how Rotary works? One meeting you attend, and many months down the line, you're excited to be inducted into membership. So I became a member of the Rotary Club of Nairobi, the oldest Rotary club in East and Central Africa. And I was truly overjoyed. And again, like I mentioned, the dilemma, should I blend in or should I stand out? I decided to blend in to Rotary Club of Nairobi, only to be co-opted into committees, and then to chair committees, and then to be secretary, and eventually stand out. I've served as president. I had the honor and privilege to be elected to be the 90th president of Rotary Club of Nairobi in 2020. And the commitment, of course, gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And currently, with District Governor Leonard, I'm serving as the District International Services Chair. And the journey, of course, in Rotary continues. But what I wanted to say at this point was, I always thought, where will I fit Rotary into my busy calendar? And I think this is the mindset individuals usually have, because, of course, it is a commitment. Somehow I managed to make the time, even if it means rearranging your life, rearranging your commitments. I made the time to make it to my weekly meetings, and surprisingly also to attend projects during the weekends. And it's not only isolated to a club. There are many clubs, Rotary at large, there are so many projects happening. And I found the time somehow, without it interfering with my work and private life. I have many mentors in Rotary, and one of them happens to be a past president of Rotary Club of Nairobi, Mike Eldon, who had once told me that if you can successfully lead a Rotary Club, you are ready to be a CEO. Well, easier said than done, because in the business field, the managerial influence you have on individuals does not work in Rotary. Here you're working with peers. Everyone is accomplished in their own right. Everyone is busy in their own life. Everyone is a professional and has speciality in a vocation. So you must be thinking, even with my height, it doesn't work. Yeah, I can't just stand and tower over people. It's not going to scare them. It's not going to scare them. And that's where I realized that this is where you have to use your skill in communicating, your skill in understanding. The humanity actually begins in-house so that you can make an impact and ripple outside. To understand the individuals, to understand people within the club, to understand that there are human emotions attached. To ensure that those who are very quiet, you coax them gently in order for them to stand out. And for those who are standing out, you gently try to nudge them to blend in. And in the midst of all this, I must say that it's a masterclass in the art and science of negotiation and influence. But having said so, it was so enjoyable and continues to be so enjoyable. It's like painting. And I'm sorry to keep bringing the painting up, and it will keep coming up. When you're given a blank canvas and you're given a variety of paint brushes of different sizes, made with different hair, and you have a palette of colors right in front of you, it doesn't just work automatically that it's going to culminate into something which is going to look really good. But then again, I'm not saying that all art doesn't look good. It's subjective. You need to understand the technique. It needs practice. It needs patience, perseverance. It needs you to understand what component works with what color blends into what solvent to use in what type of paint, what paint is going to dry at what point in time, what materials are you using, and how to make sure you take the bold strokes and the gentle strokes and make everything coherent enough to come up with something really beautiful, or a blob which makes the canvas look abused, and the brush is abused as well. So that's a choice you have as an individual. Either you work with the individuals, you have a team of individuals, understand them, humanize yourself, understand and try to make sure that everyone is working like the cog in the rotary wheel, which has different spokes, and each one from different vocations, different skill sets, different capabilities, and different types of personalities. Either you can work together in order to create something which is outstanding, or you can choose just to make that stay the way it is, and there it is. So that is another thing which one has to take a very informed decision on, to make sure that you use your ability to bring out the best in others, to make them stand out. Rotary has been a very fulfilling journey, and I'll give you an example of a project. During the year 2020, when I was serving as the club president, if you all remember, which I know all of you do, it was COVID time. And it was very difficult for individuals to conduct projects and very difficult to actually do anything which materializes in a handover. Having said so, look at how cohesive and wonderful Rotary is. Many years prior to that, when Muhammad Ali Rahmatullah, past president of the club, was president and asked me to serve as secretary, at that point in time, he has started working towards an ablution block at Jamhuri Primary School. We have individuals from the club with different vocations, similar to all the clubs in Rotary. Individuals of different vocations are invited into membership. One individual does the BOQs, the bills of quantities, the other individual does other surveys, another individual is responsible for fundraising. All these skill sets are required in order to come up with a project. But of course, resources are scarce, and we need to materialize on the number of resources we have built together in order to have the financial backup to conduct the project in order for handover. So by luck, it was to take place in the 90th year of Rotary Club of Nairobi. And everyone put their efforts together despite all the challenges. And this particular project is one where the physically challenged children, the disabled children, actually have access to these bathrooms. Individuals don't pay attention to such needs. So in Jamhuri Primary School, the sanitation block is actually specifically built in order to aid those who are physically challenged. So this is where Rotary is so wonderful, because you have all these business and professional leaders who have brought all their intellect, acumen, their contacts, their know-how together. And these are individuals who are so busy that they will not spend time to waste it. They will spend time on it when they know they have actually got the skill sets to materialize on something. So you can imagine such high-impact projects which are out of the box, projects which should genuinely be there, but they are not being done. So who's going to do them? There's a niche, there's a market gap, and Rotary has completely fitted in. From maternal child care projects to tree planting, to disease prevention, the end polio campaigns, to water and sanitation projects across the whole of the region. It's a global organization, but in our district, it's of course the 4 countries, Kenya, Ethiopia, Eritrea, South Sudan. There's so many projects which are undergoing, and the Rotarians actually pool resources together. So Rotary has taught me a lot. It has translated into my life as well. It has actually made me more aware of individuals. It has humanized me even further. Of course, we all know that everyone around us has a need, and when we are driving around, we always have our eyes peeled out. Where is the need? What can we do here? What needs to be done here? It all becomes inbuilt. It has definitely humanized me, and this is why we had to blend in order to do something to stand out. And that is why Rotary is absolutely outstanding, because it has Rotarians who are outstanding. So this is a call to individuals. Bring your competitive nature so that you can assist in assisting the utilization of resources. We need to use our competitiveness to find a balance between where to allocate scarce resources and to make the best use and utilization of finances. Thank you.